Hello and welcomes back everyone. Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Vaedren here, my Imperial Agent. And where we last left off, we had just finished the second major story arc of the Agent here. We have been given a few days R&R, but we do know that the situation, the uneasy truce between the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire is rapidly falling apart, and Imperial intelligence is going to require our aid for whatever situations start developing. We were going to do an interlude part on Vaedren space dock, and then I realized with it being so early, it might take me a while to find a party to run the next flashpoint. So I thought of the next best thing. Why don't we answer the Imperial Fleet Command intercom and have a bit of a chat? We'll do a few missions, and then we'll get to know our crew a bit more. Because I wanted to speak to my companions anyway. But obviously I wanted to do some action first, and we haven't actually looked at any of the space missions just yet. So, why don't we do that?
Flight Commander Pyrul, sir. I hear you're quite the pilot. Just what we need. The Republic grows bolder. Their attack squadrons ambush Imperial targets and disappear into open space. We're struggling to compete.
Why would the Republic risk war over these space skirmishes?
Open warfare's just around the corner. They're likely probing us for weaknesses, readying for battle. I've scrambled the Cast 23rd and Dreadwing, but it's not enough. We're forming an exclusive response squadron, the Empire's Fury. According to your skill set, I'm nominating you for squadron leader. Care to help our fleet rout the Republic?
Get ready to see how intelligence handles things.
Appreciated, sir. Your call sign will be Nightshrike. Uploading mission data to your ship now. You'll work alone, while the rest of the squadron assists throughout the galaxy. Strike with fury. Strike for the Empire.
Okay. So there are two types of space battles. The space missions that we're going to be going on now are kind of on-the-rail shooters. With some of them get more complex depending on the level of mission you gain. And you can upgrade your starship, like the Phantom here, with upgrades to make the ship even more effective. And then of course you have the PvP Galactic Starfighter, which got introduced maybe with the Shadow of Revan expansion? Or maybe Knights of the Fallen Empire. It's been a while. And I tried it the first day it came out. I wasn't very good at it, as I imagine a lot of people aren't. But I didn't decide to stick with it, and I haven't touched it since. So, yeah. Either way, we've been given kind of a tutorial escort mission. Mostly this is kind of like a level 12 mission. Imperial intelligence spies carrying vital information on Republic plans are attempting to escape enemy territory in a stolen shuttle. Republic forces are in pursuit and have trapped the shuttle in a tractor beam. Reinforcements are needed to defend the shuttle and ensure the stolen data arrives intact. So we have the Phantom. It has so much hull, it has so much shields. Obviously our hull here, our shields are the blue. Our shields will regenerate. We have our beam generator.
One more.
We do have missiles, and we can track up to 4 enemies at a time with our missiles, or lock onto our enemies. Missiles do more damage than your beams, of course. Let's see, we have some Republic capital ships. tend to have our primary objective and, of course, a few bonus missions. So we need to deal with so many of the Republic Talon fighters. And some of the Republic frigate turrets. Frigates tend to have turrets, engines, shields. So the enemies are both shooting at us and at our escort target. Ooh, 20 frigate turrets. That's quite a few, actually.
Call it a night, babe.
I don't think we'll actually succeed in one of the missions. That shield generator needs to be taken out with a missile. Some targets require missiles. Yeah, this is a dreadnought, so this is not going towards the bonus mission. That shield generator takes multiple missile shots.
What's next?
A dreadnought there also had a bridge. Enough missiles can destroy the bridge. Or you can also have a proton torpedo. There's our Imperial dreadnought that we're escorting the shuttle to. We do also have some unique items to
It's about time.
enhance our abilities. We can divert power to our blasters or power to our shield regeneration. It halves the other effect. You can half the effectiveness of the other. We also have an EMP, which prevents enemies from targeting us for 10 seconds. Oh, there we go. There's the first mission complete, nice and easy. Hey, we did get level 73. Happy days. So, if we go back now, we have a long list. Normally you don't have as many, but obviously we're level 73. Most of these quests are unlocked, including some of the heroic quests as well. Unfortunately, it looks like they're listed by they're listed alphabetically. But if we grab just a few, sometimes when you complete the space combat missions, you'll start getting operations, which give you more rewards, fleet commendations. We're actually getting reputation as well. But they may have unique rewards, but to unlock the operations, you need to complete the space combat missions which are connected to them. We do the Cartel listening station. Maybe the ice field? Why don't we give this one a shot as well? I think these are kind of mid-level quests, if I remember correctly. So, the Cartel listening post. Level 16. Okay, yeah. Only, obviously, I think we have level 5 and beyond upgrades. Most of the Starship upgrades are like level 40 plus, so yeah. We're definitely well geared. The Cartel has allowed the Republic to set up a hidden space station in HUD space to intercept dispatches from nearby Imperial operations. All available ships have been dispatched to destroy the station, but additional forces will be necessary to breach the Republic defenses. So, our primary objectives. We have turrets, shield generators, the station hangars, and the station antennae to destroy. I believe there's like a communications array located at the base of the station, which tends to be an optional mission, but again, like a bridge of a dreadnought, it takes multiple missiles or a proton torpedo to destroy. And of course, we'll have bonus objectives once we're on our way to our objective. You will find you sometimes have multiple or similar situations. Like, there is another station assault at a higher level.
Target scrapped.
Where the mission is very similar, but they may have different objectives or more difficult objectives. And the enemies will hit harder as well. We might as well divert power to our blasters. Defense satellites, frigate turrets,
Call it a night, babe.
Talon fighters. These are the defense satellites.
Starting attack run.
Okay, we actually cleared out
Scratch one.
quite a few targets there. We're missing a few of the station turrets and one of the hangars at the very least. As long as our shields remain active, even at half their regeneration speed, they are still steadily recovering. And at this level, the enemy fighters just don't have the firepower.
Scratch one.
Yeah, that's the Republic's communications have been crippled. It was a hidden bonus mission. And there are a few of them on occasion, like taking out a Dreadnought's bridge. Obviously, the higher level space missions, the enemy fighters have more shields, more full strength. And of course, they deal more damage to us as well. So all our primary objectives are now complete. But we have the 2 defense satellites still to deal with. We should be lining up for at least one of them now.
What's next?
You do have to watch out for these cargo containers. There are environmental hazards, like asteroids and such. We can basically get ourselves heavily damaged or even destroyed by driving it or flying into them. I think we're lining up for the last defense satellite now.
You like that?
And unless there's any hidden objectives, that should be our time complete. Despite all the turrets on that frigate being destroyed, it still can fire at us in a like lesser manner. There are some unique upgrades you can purchase with fleet commendations. It is a unique currency. I think, is it 50 or is it 150 needed for the proton torpedo? Either way, it's quite expensive. So, the ice field. Ooh, level 41. Right. This is the... There is a lesser version of this. It is lower level. Okay, so that's level 41. Okay, we'll do this one first then. Obviously recommending grade 1 upgrades. Damage during a failed incursion into Imperial space. The Republic warship Inkindle is attempting to hide in the upper atmosphere of the planet Serapin 4. Any available forces should move quickly to cripple the Inkindle before Republic reinforcements arrive. Deal with the capital ship's 4 shield generators. Decimate its turrets. The shield generators, as you've seen, may take 2, possibly even 3 missiles to destroy. Our blaster fire won't have any effect. You can destroy the bridge without destroying the shield generators. Don't ask. The bridge will be a hidden bonus mission. And there are plenty of frigates supporting the Dreadnought here. So... there's probably going to be frigate turrets, frigate engines, shield generators. Probably destroy the Talon fighters once again. Let's see what bonus missions. So 14 turrets on the Dreadnought. Obviously the 4 shield generators. Here comes the frigates.
Target acquired.
All right.
Okay, frigate engines is one of the bonus missions. And shield generators. I think that's all the shield generators gone already.
All right.
75 fighters and turrets.
Target scrapped.
These frigates are mostly dealt with now. There goes the frigate shield generators. So it's really just fighters and capital ship turrets now.
Enemy destroyed.
I'm gonna start throwing missiles at the bridge. They will give us some opportunities to line ourselves up with the bridge to maybe try and land a proton torpedo, especially near the end. They give you one good run. The thing with proton torpedoes is they require a time to lock on.
Call it a night, babe.
But as we mentioned before, enough missiles will do the job for us. There you go.
One.
The bridge destroyed. This'll prevent the enemy from hitting us for a little while.
Target scrapped.
And mission complete. The Inkindle is crippled. And we have the Mugar ice field. Imperial ships have lured a Republic border patrol into the orbital ice rings of the planet Mugar. Communications are being jammed and the Republic patrol can now be discreetly eliminated. Be aware that the Jedi Master is in command of the enemy forces. So, we have these Ace Talon fighters, or Red Talon fighters. As we mentioned, they are more difficult to kill, deal more damage, and there is a Corellian Defender. Of course, playing as a Jedi Knight or a Jedi Consular, this is actually the ship you would normally pilot, and we need to deal with that. You may occasionally find that as another bonus mission, you may encounter a ship that as a player you would normally pilot, like a Phantom or one of the Corellian freighters as a smuggler you could fly. They may just pop up just to cause you a bit of nuisance while you're trying to complete your primary objectives. So if I remember, this is a more difficult version of an earlier ice quest. And there are a lot of frigates supporting the defender. Well, let's get ourselves underway. Let's see what the bonus missions are once again. I'm going to put my power to my blasters.
No mistake.
Yeah, so they took a few more shots. And our shields are taking... Oh! You know what I said about the ships turning up? Our shields are already crippled. I just had to divert power to shields to get them recharged faster.
Scratch one.
Okay, frigate generators also need to be destroyed. And the generators take more than one missile. Right. That's a problem. Here's the defender. Oh, there's the defender gone already.
Excellent.
5 shield generators gone already. I don't know if we'll be able to achieve that bonus mission. I know there's at least a couple more frigates.
Enemy down.
Yeah, I think there's 2 more frigates and an enemy capital ship to deal with.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's 8 shield generators. Unfortunately, because we missed a few earlier on. Oh well, so be it. So get some shots off at the bridge of his capital ship. Okay. So we did a few space missions there. Still no operations, but I think for some operations there are like 2 or 3 space missions, all about the same level you need to kind of complete. And then the operation will be to complete those 3 missions again. So, 73. We gain Devouring Microbes. Increasing the damage dealt by poison effects by 15% on targets below 30% of their health. In addition, if a target dies with Toxic Blast, it finishes the cooldown of Toxic Blast. Okay. It has a 10-second damage over time effect, so yeah, that should work out. And we have 1 of 3 passives. Each time you are attacked, the active cooldown of your evasion is reduced by 3 seconds. This can only occur every 1.5 seconds. I'm not using evasion too much, but I can see where that would be useful for dodging melee and ranged attacks. When used from stealth, Lethal Strike interrupts and knocks down a target for 3 seconds. I mean, if used from stealth, it's a 3-second kind of stun. I think it's only really used to initiate combat. Better in PvP, I suppose. Because you can then use your overloader generator to break and then re-engage. Or finally, we have Blow for Blow. Activating evasion grants blow for blow, returning 150% of direct single target tech and force damage back to the attacker. So we can actually return the damage. I'd probably prefer to have evasion be able to activate evasion more often, I suppose. And for our final jump, it's level 78. Okay, let's get to know our companions a bit more, shall we? It's been a while. And we need to welcome Reyna Temple. Kaleo. Last we spoke, there was someone else hunting for you. Wasn't it an arms dealer?
If you can guess who's been talking to Nemro the Hutt, you owe me a drink.
If I guess I owe you a drink.
It was worth a shot. Me and the Crime King were wrapping up some old business, long story. But he let slip something interesting. Remember Yajal, my arms dealer cum stalker? He's been touching base with a lot of guys I used to work with, Nemro included.
Why would he be talking to Nemro?
He just wants information. Here's the problem. Now that Yajal's tipped his hand, some of my other ex-partners, the ones with grudges, they figure they need to hit me before Yajal does. We're talking people who should have moved on years ago. Guess I left a mark.
You do have a way with people. What should we expect?
I'm not gonna make a list, but first example who comes to mind, card shark named Teagle. Not a lot of guts, but he was rich and cute. We lived the high life until I broke his heart. Bet he'll hire some sleaze bag to find me.
Teagle Card Shark. Any other names?
Told you about your Jal role. Nemro and I are good. I'll let you know if anything else turns up. We might actually have to do something about this.
What's this we business? I didn't even want you involved in the mission, and yet you're involving yourself in my activities. And if they can find you, they can find the Phantom. I don't really want to get a scratch on my ship. That's what the shields are for. Let's just pretend some time has passed.
All right, we've got a problem. I told you about my ex-partners, how they decided to come after me? Well, that's fine. I can deal with that. What's not fine is when random freaking bounty hunters come after me because they smell a trend.
Who's coming after you, Kalia?
Guy's called the Menace. Never worked with him, never dated him, never heard of him. He's tracking me down. Apparently got a rep as a duelist. Probably wants to auction me to anyone with a grudge.
You went after Anne Spichel to auction her off?
I nabbed her because it was personal. The money was just sense. Look, we need to do something. Get a little aggressive. You in?
What exactly are you planning?
Don't know yet. Still looking at my options. But we're gonna handle this. Just watch.
Again with the we business. Why don't we just cut you loose and let you go have your fun? We'll see. Obviously, Kalia wants to talk more. We've kind of left her in the lurch for a little while. But let's get to know our other companions a bit more. Hello, Vector.
What can I do for you, Victor?
Agent, excuse us a moment. We hear the song. The nest awakens. Light fills the hive, and we are one. Apologies. It's the hour of revitalization, and as Dawn Herald, we still participate, in spirit, if not in person.
You talk about being Dawn Herald, but I don't know what that is.
Traditionally, the Dawn Herald is a warrior and emissary for the nest, one who confronts the unknown. As Herald, we are more than a typical joiner, and we retain a sense of individuality. It's also why we're useful to you.
You aren't entirely part of the hive mind, but you don't want to leave it, do you?
The joining changed us, and we are content. In any case, we still honor the Killik's gift, but surely everyone carries over rituals and habits from their lives before intelligence.
Who I was then made me who I am today, for the most part.
You should tell us about your past. When we have time, we'd like to hear it.
I'd love to tell you when I've fully decided what it's going to be. We'll speak to Vector another time. I think he has some news about his time in the diplomatic service, from what I recall. Hello, Dr. Loken. How are your, tests coming along? Your research?
Cypher, join us. Vector and I were just discussing Moff Letshara.
We never met her, of course.
Quite fortunate, that. But Vector did know her husband, a fine Dejarik player and a scribe of the Ilfmar Gambit.
We apparently share the Doctor's taste in theater.
By all means, continue.
I wouldn't want to take your time, but Master Vector, we should talk again.
Of course, Doctor.
Your crew members are delightful people. For instance, did you know Mistress Kaleo is fluent in Kalish profanities? A rare and admirable skill.
I wonder how you manage them. Leadership is such a delicate thing.
You sound like you've thought about this.
I confess it had crossed my mind. A dead or alienated colleague is a resource lost, and in our business, it's a small step from being disliked to being blacklisted.
Alienate enough people and you find yourself running unauthorized missions on a dead planet.
Quite. I could tell you stories.
But I'm afraid I have to attend to my data analysis program. Another time, Cypher.
I wonder if that's a hint then not to maybe alienate Kaleo as well. I know he's mostly talking about himself, but I suppose she is an asset until she starts to become a liability. Maybe we should indulge her. We could still make use of her talents after all, even if we dislike the baggage that comes along with her. She does have her uses. For instance, her use of Kalish profanity, seemingly.
My good friend, allow an old man some sentiment and join me for a reminiscence.
Today is the 13th anniversary of the death of Cipher 12, one of the finest agents I've ever worked with.
I've never heard of a Cipher 12. They don't mention our predecessors much.
Our history is fleeting, to say the least. Cipher 12 was one of the old guard from before the war. He cultivated allies on the fringes. By the time he received his Mandalorian brands, he'd also become verbally abusive in private, but he never cracked on the job. Always had a smile.
Were you partners?
I was technical advisor on several of his assignments, and we shared a taste in Mirialan cuisine. Eventually the odds caught up with him, and a Hapani royal assassin punctured his lungs. Inevitable, really. Are you aware how few ciphers survive past year 5?
The odds aren't good for any of us.
Quite so.
I admire the line you walk between obedience and ingenuity. Unfortunately, your methods breed enemies.
Be careful not to end up without recourse.
You chose to join my crew. If you didn't like my methods, you could have found a way out by now. What are you after?
I've made it through a very long career by choosing my partners wisely. I've outlasted them all, and I intend to keep doing so.
He's keeping a few things close to his chest, but I am intrigued. I will speak to you again, Dr. Loken. Let's go greet our newest companion. Of course, we really started our introduction and bonding with her with a few lies that Hunter was part of Imperial intelligence and that she was being transferred to my crew. Which wasn't exactly the truth, but otherwise she'd be dead, so, you know.
I rather like your ship. Not exactly military, but it'll be nice not sleeping in a thermosuit. Once we're underway, you'll bring me up to speed on my duties, sir. Show me the tricks of undercover work.
You're embarking on a new career. No nostalgia for your old life?
None, sir. If I'm here, I intend to commit myself. I probably ought not to bring this up, but there is the matter of my talents. If I'm operating in the Empire, there's the chance the Sith will find out what I can do. They wouldn't be pleased.
If your talents become an issue, we'll deal with them.
Understood, sir. In the meantime, I intend to make myself irreplaceable.
Well, I'm certain we'll find a use for your skills and your talents going forward. Let's see if we can learn more about Ensign Temple.
You said you wanted to talk.
Yes, sir. Ensign Raina Temple, formerly of the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force, reporting for combat drills.
I never said anything about combat drills.
No, sir. If you had, I wouldn't need to bring it up. Frankly, I need the practice. No one ever taught me covert maneuvers. If you've got time...
Grab your equipment, I'll find a private spot.
Thank you, sir. All right. I think I've sweat enough for one day. Any last words of wisdom for your freshly transferred ensign?
Never let anything distract you. No one can compensate for your errors.
I'm confident it isn't so dire, but I take your point. You know, my father used to come home from exercises freshly scarred. I was 12 before I realized his training drills were intelligence operations. He was captured twice, but he wouldn't let me worry, no matter how bad it got.
I didn't know your father was part of intelligence.
I thought I'd mentioned it. He was a cipher. Thank you for the lesson. A few more and I'll be infiltrating enemy camps with the best of them.
She's eager, showing initiative for her training. As long as she's doing some training in her own time as well. Okay. So, this is a perfect place to take a break once again. When we come back, we will be going into the third act of the Imperial Agent storyline. And we'll see what the situation develops into. We are likely going to be called back to Imperial headquarters. And yeah. We have some choice words. But, of course, we'll see how things go. Thank you all for joining me once again with even more Star Wars The Old Republic. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you so wish. And hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, though, take care. Bye-bye now.